Anger is weakness. If you're a man who becomes angry, if you're a man who is an angry man, you're a weak man. Like, you have to recognize that if you're not a man who's in control of himself, you're weak. Control is strength. So that's what you should be striving for. Um, the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 32 says it like this: better a patient man than a warrior, one with self control than one who could take a city. Right? Like, understand that every man thinks that power is this ability to explode and be tougher than everyone. But the reality is, God is telling you that power is actually the ability to stay in control. And so few actually have the ability to stay in control. That's what it comes down to. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly how to master anger, how to overcome it, how to put yourself into a position where you can truly be a leader in your home, to not destroy your relationships with your kids or with your spouse, for you to actually be taken seriously, to be a dangerous man, truthfully, right? So the question I'm going to ask you is, when was the last time in your life your anger actually made you better? Like, when did your anger actually ever make you better? See, almost every one of us has a story where we can point to and recognize that anger has cost us something: our respect, or maybe it's our marriage, or children's respect for us, our reputation. We lost that, right? Maybe it's our peace, or our money, or promotions, or our friendships, right? Like, very few of us have stories where this uncontrolled anger improved anything. There's a lie that most men think, and they say, if I don't get angry, then people won't respect me. But the opposite is actually true. See, studies show that a man who is angry all the time is actually undisciplined, and he's unstable, and people don't like unstable people. We can all agree to that. And so there's a difference between people fearing you and people respecting you. Now, when we get angry in life, we have to recognize that this is usually because we're trying to hide something. It's just an armor for real issues. Like, some of these issues that we're looking at, we're talking about your wounded pride or insecurities. Perhaps it's your fear, or maybe embarrassment or rejection. When I was a kid, I used to get picked on a lot. And because I got picked on so much, I actually would get angry now as a freshman or sophomore in high school, when I would react so quick and I would fight people in the hallways because I was actually afraid. And so because of my fear, now as I grew up, I didn't want to be picked on anymore. I would be reactive, right? So, like, anger is simply just a mask. The emotion underneath is the real thing. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, what is this thing that we're protecting? What is this emotion that we're protecting? See, Jesus was a man who was able to get his point across and be very direct with individuals and not really be angry. He had a righteous anger about him, right? There were times, obviously, as we know, where he would flip tables, but like, people confuse righteous anger with emotional anger. Like, Jesus, he was never controlled by his emotions. He chose when to react, how to react, exactly why to react. Never impulsive, never reactive, never reckless, and never sinful. Bible verses such as the book of James, chapter 1, verse 19, where it says, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. What this essentially is saying is that what God has in store for you in your life, in that situation, in that conversation, in that moment, will probably not become your reality if you allow yourself to become angry. That's just how it's going to be. Like, you will not be able to get what God has in store for you through that anger. The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 26 says like this: in your anger, do not sin. Notice that the assumption is that anger is going to happen. It just doesn't want us to sin, right? Paul is saying, just don't sin through that anger. See, what your goal should be in life is to become a warrior. And warriors don't lose control. Warriors don't lose control. A warrior who cannot control himself, you can't actually protect anyone else. You have a family, you got a wife, you got kids, you got people that you love. Like, you can't actually protect anybody if you are someone who cannot even protect yourself. I'm a United States Marine. As a Marine, what you'll find is that a Marine with no trigger discipline is a dangerous Marine, where you start flagging guys, you get negligent discharges, like, you're going to lose your rank. You're going to be probably kicked out of the Marine Corps, depending on the situation, right? Like, you hurt somebody, you're going to be in a bad spot. A father with no emotional discipline is dangerous, right? A man who snaps on his kids and breaks his kids, like, you could yell at your son and destroy him emotionally. or a husband who's always verbally assaulting his wife because she doesn't know what she did wrong. She doesn't know how to fix the issue. A real warrior controls the weapon. It's a weapon. Your mouth is a weapon. Your emotions are weapons. Your body language is a weapon. You have to master them, right? And so there's a couple of communication rules that I want you to take into effect, and I want you to master them. How do we master anger? Well, this is how we do it. Number one is I want you to slow everything down. Slow it all down. Lower your voice. People start to talk to you, and when they're maybe making you a little upset, or maybe they're not, regardless, practice it all the time in the good conversations and the bad. Lower your voice, lower your breathing, lower your tone, lower your pace. The calmer you are, the more control you can have. And all of us want to be able to have control. Rule number two, ask questions before you make assumptions. Instead of saying something like, you never listen to me, say something along the lines of, help me understand what happened. Or, what did you mean by that? Or, did you mean it like that when you said it? See, these types of questions get a person to lower their defenses. And that's what you want, because we don't want to break people. We don't want to argue to win. Number three is attack the problems, not the person, right? You say something like, you are lazy. Well, that's attacking the person. Instead of doing that, instead, attack the issue and say something along the lines of, we have a problem that we need to solve. Be clear about the actual thing, not the person. We don't want to hurt these people because these are people we love, right? Rule number four, never fight to win. Fight to understand. What are we actually trying to do here? Get to a solution. What is this person actually trying to say? How do I get to that? Instead of, how do I destroy this person in this argument? How do I win? Rule number five, silence is a weapon. Don't be afraid to use it. Not every single accusation or thing that someone says deserves an immediate response. See, if you feel disrespected, sometimes it's okay to just take a step back and just be quiet. A powerful man is comfortable in silence. And again, I know that you all want to be that way. And rule number six, own your part immediately. The most powerful words that you could say that will save your marriage is, I was wrong. I was wrong. Not, well, you did this and you did that. Or, like, I'm sorry, but, or if you hadn't done that, then I wouldn't have. Someone just, I was wrong. Take ownership of your part, because there is a part. And then rule number seven, if it gets that bad, if you really feel like you can't control yourself, you must leave before you explode. Not after you exploded, before you explode. Leave, walk away, disappear, right? Like, listen, at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, you have to learn to master this, because you tell your wife certain things. You say, I die for you, right? You love her, right? But you won't control your mouth for her or your anger for her. You tell your children that you love them, but your anger makes them nervous. You say that you're a leader, yet your emotions lead you. So the real question is, who's truly in charge? Every warrior trains. No Marine waits until the battlefield to learn trigger discipline. No boxer waits until they get in the fight night to learn their defenses. And no husband should wait until the next argument to practice self-control. Train before the battle. Hopefully this video is helpful for you. And if it was, one of the best things that you can do for me to help out is to subscribe. It's a free thing you can do that really helps us with our channel. It's new and it's growing, and I would love to see us hit 10,000 subscribers as our first landmark benchmark goal. And so you're a big part of that. We're a smaller channel. I understand that. And every day your support allows us to get a little bit better. So thank you very much. God bless. And I'll see you in the next episode.